The girl with the quiet voice. Long ago, in a peaceful village surrounded by tall palm trees and red earth, there lived a young girl named Adaize. The village was never silent. Children laughed loudly, women sang as they cooked, and men told stories in booming voices under the great tree in the center of the village. But Adai's was different. Her voice was soft, so soft that when she spoke, it seemed the wind carried her words away before anyone could hear them. Every morning, Adais joined the other children in the village square. Let's play, they shouted. I have an idea, Adais would begin. But before she could finish, speak louder, one boy interrupted. We can't hear you. Another laughed, and soon they would ignore her completely. At first, Daisy tried again and again. She would take a deep breath and force her voice louder, but the louder she tried, the more they laughed. She sounds like a whispering leaf. She has no voice. Their words stung more than thorns. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, Daisy stopped speaking. Even at home, she answered her mother with nods instead of words. One evening, her mother asked gently, Adais, why do you no longer sing? Adais opened her mouth, then closed it again. How could she explain something no one seemed to understand? That night she lay awake, listening to the distant laughter of other children. A single tear rolled down her cheek. The next day, after another round of laughter and mockery, Adais ran. She ran past the huts, past the farms, until she reached the edge of the sacred forest, a place the villagers feared. No child goes there, they always said, but Adais stepped inside. The moment she entered, everything changed. The shame of the village disappeared. No laughter, no shouting, no mocking voices, only silence. But it was not an empty silence. It was a peaceful one. For the first time in her life, Adais felt comfortable. She sat beneath a tall tree and whispered, why can no one hear me? The leaves rustled, the wind shifted, and then a soft glow appeared. From the air itself, a spirit formed, gentle and bright, like moonlight dancing on water. Adais gasped but did not run. The spirit spoke, its voice calm and warm. Child, I hear you. Adazi's eyes widened. You can hear me, she whispered. I have always heard you. The spirit moved closer, its light wrapping gently around her. Your voice is not weak, it said. It is quiet, but it carries truth. Ades shook her head. But no one listens. They do not listen, the spirit replied, because they only hear noise. Ades looked down. Then, what is the use of my voice? The spirit smiled. Your voice is not meant to shout. It is meant to be felt. The spirit raised its glowing hand and gently touched Adai's throat. A warm light spread through her body. From this day, the spirit said, your voice will reach not the ears, but the heart. Adas felt something change, not louder but deeper. The next morning, Adaisi returned to the village. The children saw her and began to laugh again. Look, the girl with no voice. Say something. Adaisi looked at them calmly. Then she whispered one word. Stop. Suddenly, everything froze. The laughter vanished. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. The children looked at each other, confused. I felt that, one said quietly. Another child's smile faded. Why do I feel sad? The truth. They felt one by one, the children began to feel something unfamiliar, the loneliness Ades had carried, the hurt of being ignored, the pain of being laughed at. Tears filled their eyes. A boy who once mocked her stepped forward. I didn't know, he said softly. I didn't know it hurt like this. Adesi said nothing. She didn't need to. That evening, the children gathered under the great village tree. For once, there was no shouting, no laughter, only quiet. The same boy spoke again. Adais, we are sorry. Others nodded. Yea, we didn't listen. We didn't understand. Adais looked at them. and for the first time, she spoke without fear. You are loud, she said gently, but you never truly heard me. From that day forward, things began to change. The children listened more, they spoke more kindly, they made space for quieter voices, and Adaize, she never became loud. But whenever she spoke, people listened because her voice carried something greater than sound. It carried truth. A quiet voice is not a weak voice. The strongest voices are the ones that reach the heart.